Hey y'all, it's Crystal from Triple C Creations Crafting here in North Georgia, and we're going to be putting some embellishments together. I posted some of these embellishments on a Facebook page about using up your scraps, and I had a lot of interest in it, so I thought I would do a video on it. And what we're going to be making is jars and filled with flowers. So let me show you an example. There's one, not necessarily the flower inside it, but these are really fun to make. You can make ahead of time using your scraps, make them in stages, make the jars, make the flowers, and then go back and put them together. So let's see what we're gonna need. Now I have been working, if you can see my flowers. I did another video recently about using up your scraps, making flowers, I use my what I call my daisy punch, making not only the full flowers but making the half flowers too. So I have gone through my scraps and I've made a bunch of flowers. I've got them coordinated by kind of color coded and how I'd want to use them. And then I've gone through and I have made some jars. So let's look at the now how do I make my jars? I did have some questions on that. I have a set of thinlits that I bought, I believe off AliExpress, honestly. And I love these things. I would buy these again because I do get so much use out of them. And I try not to buy a whole lot of punches and dies, but I do get a lot of uses of these. And if you notice on mine, mine have the rings, and let me just show you how I do that. So pulling out my Big Shot. And if you've watched my other videos, the only actual plates I have that go with it I have this base plate. I have some plates that I've made using really thick cardboard. I use shims made from the cutting boards from the Dollar Tree. And this is actually a self-healing cutting mat that I use for a cutting mat. And then I did buy, when I got this, I did buy a new set of the clear plates. And I only need one at a time though. And it doesn't, got a few scratches on it maybe, but no cut marks because I don't cut on it. All right, so to cut the rings for my jars, this is what I do. I actually just nest my jars in here, and because all I'm wanting is that top. And actually, this is not cardstock, so I can actually cut more than one layer of this at a time. And I just take my scissors and kind of follow the embossed line at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that on the video. If you hear a roaring in the background, that's the wood splitter. My husband and sons are out splitting up a tree that we recently cut down. Sounds kind of like a generator running. It's been running all morning. All right, so I got those. Just set this to the side for now. Let me pull it back out in a minute. All right, so here's some jars, and then I just add a little bit of glue. You do need a good adhesive though that doesn't take much, and I really like one that dries fast, so I do use the art glitter glue. It is worth the money to get it. Oh, we'll never go back. There are some that are supposedly similar. I've not tried them yet, but I do love the art glitter glue. So that's how I make my jars. Now, also, I do like to emboss my jars. I like to emboss them after I glue the top on too, because it's just easier to glue down to a flat surface. So let's see some embossed. All right, I may have to play with my sandwich some. Let's do, now I really like this this reminds me of almost like a jar if it was kind of clear, a little bit bluish. Got my little spray bottle here, and I found this embossing photo. I thought it'd be really cool. It's got a star on it with some lines. It's a small one. It says Heidi Swap. But I thought it would be cool because I could actually put the star on the jar. It's going to hang off a little bit, but I'm going to try it. I like old jars. A lot of people collect them. And they do have all kinds of designs on them. So I'm just going to let I'm actually going to let my top hang out of this one. I don't always. Embossing is a good way for your, to get a good stick on your glue. It's a little bit too tight. I'm going to take out, I do have a shim in here, so I'm going to take it out. Still too tight. Let's see. That may be not enough. Let's check. Nope, that actually worked. Did not feel like it had any resistance, but it worked. So I really like how that turned out. A lot of times I will use my paisley. If you've watched any of my other videos, you may have seen it. I do like the paisley. I think polka dots are cute too. I'm actually going to try this plaid though. So let's try this plaid, and let's do one of these polka dotted ones. So just some ideas, and I'm just going to do the whole thing. There we go. How cute is that? All right, so I'm not going to do them all right now. You can also, if you are an inker, you can do some ink blending on these. That was what I did on some of my others that I was showing you. This was actually just solid yellow paper that I used my paisley embossing folder on, and then I used like an orange or a red and did just some blending on there with a brush. Okay, so got my stack of jars. I've got all my flowers, and I kind of tried to like coordinate, you know, with my flowers and my jars, you know, colors that would match. So let's do some daisies first. And I think I want this. This was a scrap that I had in my box. Was able to get one jar out of it, and then there was literally nothing left. So now I'm going to put flowers in this. I do need a base. So I went into my cardstock and I found just some scraps, and I've cut me some small rectangles. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to glue this on the back. I don't want to get wider than my jar lid. Well, I've left my glue sitting open. Getting ready to film. I left it open, I guess, a little too long. And you can kind of consider, you know, how long do you want it to stick up? How many flowers do you want? This is, I believe, the medium-sized jar. And so I'm going to do daisies. And I've got daisies with different color yellow, so and I could mix them up, or I can kind of stick to the same color yellow. Okay, so I think I'm good with that length. I think I'm going to maybe cut at an angle though. And I'm going to go ahead and put the top one on. Should probably put my silicone mat back down, so I'm not getting so much glue on my surface here. Now I also have my leaves that I do cut ahead of time from my scraps. So I've got my leaves and pull them out. So this is kind of how I'm thinking this. You know that I'm gonna have room for leaves. Maybe a small one. Let's see. What about that color? I don't like that color with that. Yeah, I think I'm just going to keep it simple and just do that. So it's all right that I see a little bit of that. It kind of blends in. But there is a jar full of daisies. Now, it would also be cute, I think, to add, you could add a little butterfly. You could add a bow. I actually did, I don't know if it's, yeah, I do have it. I was thinking it was something I had mailed off in a swap. This one actually has some keys tied to it with some strings. You could do that. You could do ribbon. So there's one. Let's do something different now. I really like this. This is going to be a bigger one. This just looks so much like a real jar, I think. Now, these are kind of big leaves, but I'm adding in that greenery. And because this is so open, I'm just going to add a lot of glue and stick it down like that. And didn't even consider which flowers I'm going to use. I think I'm going to use these. Oh, no. Let's do daffodils. Yeah, let's do daffodils. Found this daffodil punch, or actually it's a die cut. Didn't even know what it was until I found a something online, a sample of somebody else using it, and then I realized what it was. These don't have to be the leaves that necessarily go with the flower, because if you have a vase, you can have all kinds of greenery in it. This always kind of reminds me of a fern. My mom's favorite flower is daffodils, so I always think of her when I see daffodils. I feel like I need something right here. And I'm just mixing up my leaves, no one kind. All right, there we go. Can't wait to put that on a card. Or I may do it in a swap. All right, so stick around after the video and I'll show you some more of my examples that I have made. Hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you like the video, and if you've not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. See you later.